Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another ingenious way that the Department of Homeland Security is putting pressure on illegal aliens to leave the U.S., lest they have to pay millions of dollars in fines for being here illegally, doing business, and doing other things that can be penalized under the law. These were laws that were not being used under Biden. He actually specifically stopped the use of lawsuits and liens like this, financial liens on accounts to get people to flee or pay up. But Trump's administration, specifically Homeland Security, led by Kristi Noem, is using these fines once again and filing lawsuits against these people, trying to collect if they do not depart the U.S. So this is the maximal pressure campaign that I absolutely love that is being used by Trump's administration, specifically Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, and in this case, it's Kristi Noem, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love her, one of the best picks that Trump made, a true believer in the cause, and this is just more good news. And if you missed my last video, we had even more good news where the Supreme Court overruled Judge Frimpong in California, so the ICE raids are continuing normally. Her insane decision has been overturned. If you missed that video, go check it out.
The controversial campaign of President Trump to crack down on millions of undocumented immigrants is escalating. The people who have been in this country working and paying taxes for years. And now the Trump administration is suing migrants using a rarely enforced law from 30 years ago. If the undocumented...
And of course, as you can see, once again, this local news lady is not happy. And this, by the way, not even KTLA 5. This is ABC 7 Eyewitness News. And she just simped for the illegals by putting in those extra words about how they've been here paying taxes. I don't care what they did, lady. Okay. Their ancestors didn't build this country. They have no right to be here. They think they can just break in following no rules. And this is, by the way, defending illegals by saying that they've broken the law for years, so we should just let them be here. Let's watch that again. This is the start of the segment, and she's already trying to simp for the illegals and attack this plan.
The controversial campaign of President Trump to crack down on millions of undocumented immigrants is escalating. The people who have been in this country working and paying taxes.
Yes, the illegal aliens, not undocumented anything. They're illegal aliens who invaded our country, who've been stealing our jobs for 20 years. Are those the people you're talking about, lady? Because I want those people gone. I don't care what kind of taxes they pay. This is not about money. Okay, this is about land and who owns it. Their ancestors didn't build it. They have nothing coming for them here, or they should have nothing coming for them, but they're taking everything we have, using our benefits, using our educational system, our hospitals. They never mention that part. They mentioned the taxes because a lot of Americans care about that. I don't care how many taxes they pay. I can't break into your house if I, promise to give you some money every month. That's not what this is about. Okay. It's about the fact that you don't want me breaking into your house. That it's about principle. It's not about money. For a lot of business people, it's about money. For me, it's not about money. It's about the fact that I don't want you here because you don't belong here. So they're always talking about paying tax. I don't care how much taxes you pay. Irrelevant to me. You still can't break into my country.
And now the Trump administration is suing migrants using a rarely enforced law from 30 years ago. If the undocumented migrants don't leave, they can be fined, and in some cases, millions of dollars. In so many areas, including the tri-state, are sanctuary cities. So what now? Here's Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo.
By the way, sanctuary city laws will do absolutely nothing to stop this plan because sanctuary city laws mainly apply to law enforcement not being able to cooperate with federal police. It doesn't have anything to do with these kind of laws that Homeland Security is using, like financial pressure laws, because this method is not a violation of any sanctuary city laws. So there's literally nothing these local or state politicians can do. And so these bleeding heart politicians in these blue cities and states can only watch as Homeland Security destroys them with fines. And it's absolutely awesome. They can pay up or they can leave. And if they don't leave, we can literally file liens on their accounts and take everything that they have. Homeland Security is filing lawsuits against these people and using the federal courts to basically garnish all their money that they have because they have to pay the fines. If they don't pay the fines, then the courts will move to seize their assets. Okay, that's what they're doing. So this is amazing. One of the many tools, weapons in the arsenal against the invasion.
Reporter Anthony Carlo.
Lamari Costa is an immigration attorney with 20 years under her belt. She's never had a caseload quite like this.
Let me deliver a message from President Trump to the world. If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it.
These ads are only part of the pressure campaign against undocumented immigrants. Those with orders for removal are now subject to astronomical fines. This person received a notice for a heart-stopping $1.8 million accrued over decades.
These are not a token amount. These are amounts that will decimate a business, that will make an individual bankrupt.
And realistic.
Good. That's exactly what we want. You should have never even been in this country, let alone have made any money. That's why we're taking it all if you don't leave. I absolutely love this. These people deserve nothing here. All they're doing is stealing a spot from an American business owner. And most of these people are getting hit with fines. They have businesses, or they're doing something where they're making money from our country when they're not even supposed to be on our land. And that's why we need to get them out. And this is a great way to do it.
Make an individual bankrupt.
And realistically, leave them only with the option of self-deportation, when they may not have known they were even racking up fines in the first place.
The problem is that not everybody knows that they have been deported. Why? Because you could have been a child that was not taken to court. So it's extremely unfair.
Okay, first of all, ignorance of the law is not a defense in court. Okay, you're going to be screwed by if you use that defense. I can't believe as a lawyer she just brought that up. Okay, that shows how smart she is. And there's so few cases where what she said is true, where it was like a child and they didn't even know they were deported. Okay, that is such a rare case where I can't believe that this is the excuse that she went to, where it's not even a common thing. But even if it was, again, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, a valid excuse. This is based on federal law, okay? A violation of federal law. So in federal court, you're not going to get away with just saying, oh, I didn't know about it, okay? It's your job to know what your status is. If you're an illegal, that's your problem.
Extremely unfair to receive a bill for $1 million when you didn't even know that you had an order of removal.
The Trump administration is relying on a rarely enforced law to fine up to $1,000 a day, and they've reduced the appeal window to 15 days. Lawyers say appeal anyway.
While you submit the appeal, you can also consult with an attorney the probability of reopening the case, the underlying case that resulted in a removal order.
The Department of Homeland.
Think about that. These people illegally broke into our country and they don't want to leave. They want to make all the money they can. And these appeal processes, all this legal rights before they get deported, they're using all of this to stay here longer and to put more burden on our legal system. This is why we shouldn't be giving them any due process whatsoever. Just grab them by the hair and throw them out of the border. That's what we should be doing. But instead, they are literally using our system and our grace that we give, that is only meant for our citizens. But these savages break in here and a whole bunch of people want to give these people rights. And they use and abuse our system, take advantage of our good grace after breaking in here illegally. The level of disgusting here is unmatched for me. I can't stand that they do this stuff.
The Department of Homeland Security has issued almost 7,000 fines totaling $1.9 billion, writing in part, if you're in the country illegally, leave now or face the consequences. Illegal aliens should use the CBP Home app to fly home for free and receive a $1,000 stipend while preserving the option to return the legal right way. Attorney Costa.
I love Trisha McLaughlin, but yeah, she's just saying that. There's no coming back here. Okay, there's no coming back and there shouldn't be any right way because none of your ancestors built this country and you're not welcome here.
$1,000 stipend while preserving the option to return the legal right way. Attorney Costa says that's harder than it sounds. She's seen the fear and anxiety. For the first time, a sense of defeat.
Some people feel that there is no point to actually fight it.
Anthony Carlo, Channel 7, Eyewitness.
This news report and this monkey over here, she acts as if these freaking taco eating savages have any right to be on George Washington's land. This land, that was conquered and built by Northern and Western Europeans. They think they have an entitlement to come here. Okay, even though their ancestors did nothing. They didn't build the 13 colonies. They didn't do Western expansion. They didn't fight in the Revolutionary War. They didn't fight in the War of 1812. They didn't fight in World War I, II. They contributed nothing to this country. But nevertheless, they are lamenting the fact that they have to leave after invading it illegally. These are the most entitled, disgusting people ever. Okay, all these Spanish speakers, that's all they are. They're the most entitled people in the world. They think they are the whole country of America should bow down to them and give them everything, while they contributed nothing to this country, to the building of this country. This country was not built in the 1900s. It was built by my ancestors starting in the 1600s and into the 1700s. Unless your ancestors fought in the Revolutionary War, I don't want to hear about your rights. Okay, because you don't have any rights here. You have temporary legal rights that have been given by the law, made up by bleeding heart, open borders idiots. But no, you don't have any true rights here because you are not an American and you will never, ever be an American. And that's the bottom line. I'll see you guys in my next video, as always.